try out the final few holes of the 2019 Golden Bear Classic. This is Muirfield Village, which is the course that they used, I believe it was last weekend on the PGA Tour. Of course, for the sake of copyrights, etc., Play Games, Plaay, who makes History Maker Golf, gives the course its fictional name, so it's Spirit of Scotland Golf Club. But I am Tenacious Earl, and I will be bringing you the action. We've got a pretty good one going here, although you can't see it right now because I have the wrong thing up. But let me do this. This will make it a little better. So, yes, you can see it. John Westinghouse. So we started out with Eddie Sykes, Ian Robards, a couple of new names, because for one thing, Dustin Emmerich took the week off. We gave him the week off. We're like, here, stay home. You've made a lot of money, bud. Take a week off. And so he did. He's like, hey, I've got lawns to mow, you know. But anyway, so we started out with Eddie Sykes and Ian Robards, who are two relatively new guys here to our broadcast. They started out in the lead at, I believe it was minus 15, with Martin Van Dyke, Carlos Solari, John Westinghouse, and Heath Summers. Well, the three. Martin Van Dyke. Yeah, well, actually, I think all four of those guys were three behind. But then John Westinghouse has gone on a tear here. 6 under par for his round. He, just to give you an idea of if we look at the exemptions list here, John Westinghouse won the Silverado Open early in the season, and I assume you can see this. He also won the Lone Star Open last year, so he has 2 tour victories, and he is looking like he's on his way to his third here. So, but lurking 3 back is still Ian Robards. Eddie Sykes had a rough go of it to start, but he has turned it around a bit. And if I could be so kind as to show you here, Eddie Sykes, as you can see, he was 4 over after 5 holes. He took a double bogey on 5, which added insult to injury, but then he birdied 3 of the next 4 to close out the front 9 all right, but then he bogeyed 11. Now he's got a birdie on the easy 12th. Actually, no, the 12th wasn't easy, but somehow all these guys birdied it. So, but what I've done, as you noticed from the cards, the first group was all turned over. They were in bad shape at the turn after 10 holes. So I went ahead and played them out so we don't have to, wade through those guys. So that's why you see these guys all finished here, as well as Jason Huffman, who was in the the third to last group, but he was also well back, so we just played him out. And so where are we? We are at the emerging contender role. So but see, again, this is just like last week. John Westinghouse is 6 under par for his round, and because of that, there is no emerging contender role. So we just keep on moving along here, and so we will. Going to check in on the live stream board here. Nobody's commented yet, but maybe here eventually we will get some vocal viewers. We'll see. But this is going to be an interesting final few holes, and I'll tell you what, I'm not used to this. I usually like having this up here, so I'm going to put this down at the bottom, this up here, and we will deal with that like that. So, the 16, 17, and 18 are pretty neat in that, well, 16 and 18 are pretty tough. 17 is tough, but it's only a 3 degree of course control. So there is There will be some spills, but you also have a chance for a birdie there. So if the right golfer gets a 1 or a 2 at that hole. So let's get going with Fonseca and Granbury. Again, we're not really paying any attention. The way that this game works, this is like the golf coverage, and when a player gets too far gone, they don't really pay any attention to him, and so that's what we're doing here. So Chico Fonseca will have the tee here at the easy par 5, reachable 15th. 529 yards. A straight arrow shot through the woods leaves not much for strategy. Hit it long and grab a birdie or go for an eagle maybe. So let's see if we can find one of these guys making a big jump. So as you can see the leaderboard right now, Westinghouse with Robards 3 back. 4 back are a group of Fonseca, Solari, and Sykes. And then Van Dyke, who himself has had kind of an up and down round. He is currently 5 behind, so not out of it, but he's got to start making a move if he's going to get his, if he's going to add another win to his trophy cabinet. So here is Fonseca, 2-5-6 par 5. He has control of the hole off of his traits. The way we tell that, we use the white die, and these designations up here, only the 5 roll on the white die leads to the hole controlling, or course controlling, where we go through here. Otherwise, we read all 3 in ascending order, and it's 2, 5, 6. And it checks, is Fonseca a legend? He's not. Is it a direct green? It is a direct green, so we're going to get what's called the special short game chart. And we go from the green die result, which is a 2. Is he soft? He's not soft. But he does, so he would have gotten a pin roll, which would have given him maybe a chance to knock it in for eagle, but he could have also had a birdie. Now instead he's just going to have an easy birdie putt. So Fonseca would draw within 3 if he can make this 1 to 4 chance. And he doesn't really have enough chips to be able to do much of the strategy at the end, so he's just going to go ahead and make this gimme. You can upgrade your putt and make it easier. So we're going to make it even easier here. It's going to be gimme. He just needs to avoid 2 6s, and he does. So that's, he's gone birdie, birdie, bogey, birdie, birdie on the last 5 holes, and he finds himself poised just in case, because like I said, we have some tougher holes on the way in, and there's definitely a possibility Westinghouse could run into trouble just like any of these guys. Now here's Gil Granbury, who is on the edge of contention. Actually, I've thought about taking him out, but I'm just going to leave him in because it's so late in the round. Okay, so he's got a white 5, so that means we go off of the course, the whole card, and we use, in ascending order, the silver and black results. And you can see them there, although there is a little bit of a shine on the black. It's a 46. So he is in the trees with his second shot on the par 5. So each of these, for anybody who's new here, each of these has, so the one that looks like grass is rough. The one that looks like a diamond with dots is sand. The one that has 2 leaves jutting out to each side is trees. And we don't have any on this card, but there's a water droplet for water, and sometimes they have like an OB. But anyway, we end up with, he's in the trees, and then there's like a little superscript next to it, which tells you which shot he goes into the trees on. And it doesn't necessarily mean he doesn't end up in other hazards along the way, but this is kind of what will define his hole. So you use the green die on these hazard checks off here, and also the square is what's called Golf Cam Course, which is kind of like the average difficulty of the hole, and then the difficulty of the green is Golf Cam Green, which is the circle. Now, for any of the hazards, the green die, the lower the better. So 4 is kind of like middle of the road, probably not going to hurt him, but he's not a master, which means that he'd have a great short game. So, or great recovery skills, let's say. So instead of a difficult birdie, he ends up with a difficult par. So difficult pars are 1 to 3. So he needs to make a 1 to 3 on the D6 roll, and he does make it with a 1. So he gets his par on an easy hole, which is not what he's looking for. But at this point in the round, he'd just like a top 10 and to stop the bleeding, which with the holes coming up is going to be tough. So let me see something. I want to double check here and make sure it has a warning for me. So I want to double check and make sure that yeah, it is working. So it said something about an audio bit rate is low or something, which is kind of weird, but okay. So the 14th here at Muirfield Village, of course, one of the many courses that Jack has built. It'll be John Westinghouse first, our leader. He is on 3 birdies in a row. And so this is a pretty easy hole. This is another birdie hole. It's semi-cordial. Only one roll on the white die will earn a check off here. We do have some water on this hole. Another downhill tee, tree-lined valley with a creek bisecting the fairway. But at 363, it's pretty simple. So here is Westinghouse. He has some blue chips to spend, and he's going to get another one. White 6 is what is called what I call a patient par. I really should just start calling it a double P. But patient par, what it means is that the golfer had sort of a slightly less than average shot on the hole or to start, and he just basically plays an easy hole in. He just takes the safe route, gets his par, and he gains confidence, which is manifested in the blue chips, which you can use later to take control on holes that you don't want to have to deal with some of the hazards on those holes. So, or you can also make your putts a little easier. That means you take your confidence and make them easier. Now, you see the red chips, that's the opposite. That's kind of like a little bit of lack of confidence, but you can also use that in your favor in certain ways. But usually it's you're trying to limit the damage in order to use those in a way that you won't affect your score. Okay, so Heath Summers, who is 7 back right now, Westinghouse on this birdie tear really kind of like separated himself from some of the field. Summers would like to get a birdie here, and he will have a 1-1-3 as he takes control with the white 2. Is he scatter? No, he's actually shaper, which is the opposite of it, but that doesn't make a difference because we just checked the scatter, and he's not a hacker, so he has a moderate putt for birdie. So he has a choice of whether to use these blue chips to take his moderate. You can use up to 2 blue chips on a hole. The moderate putt would move to easy. The easy putt would move to gimme. So he could use those 2 and get to a gimme putt. He's going to hold on to those and try to make the later holes easier. He's going to try to make this moderate. So moderate is a 1-2. Easy is a 1-4. Gimme is a 6-6 miss. So 33% chance of making this. He's going to take his chances here and hope he can drain this. And he just misses it. If he had used 1 chip, he would have gotten it. But that's the chance you take. Now an easy par. The easy par is a 6-6 miss. So from par on, the putt difficulties are a little less. So that is a par. He doesn't get 6s. So now Carlo Solari. Okay, 114 is he's not gilded, so he's actually semi-dynamic. Dynamic is the opposite of gilded. Solari, unfortunately for Solari, he's had 2 bogeys in a row, so it asks if he's cold, and it turns out he is cold, so what he does is he settles for a 2-putt par, and his hole just did not go the way he wanted, so Solari has to kind of hold serve at minus 14. Back to 13, and it will be Martin Van Dyke, who everybody birdied 12, but he's the only one who parred 11. The other guys bogeyed it. So this is a 455, and pretty long, pretty lengthy par 4 there. Downhill tee on generally speedy fairway, gets golfers near the green in a hurry. Bunkers run full length either side of the green. So it's 4 degrees of difficulty, but no daunting designations or anything like that. So it should be, you're probably like 15 to 20% chance at a birdie on this guy. Van Dyke will, with his red chip, is just going to go ahead and take his chances on this. 16, he is in the bunker in 1. So that's where we're looking right here. Bunker in 1. So we go to that part of the chart. And he is a green 1, so as we said before, the lower the green, the better. So it asks if he is chunky, and he is not chunky out of the bunker. So he has this is a fairway bunker, so he has what's called a wow roll. He'll earn a blue chip, which cancels the red chip. And now he gets to re-roll the white die, which will give him a possibility of anything from an eagle all the way down to a difficult birdie putt. It's a 4, so that'll be an easy birdie putt. So he needs a 1 to 4, 66% chance of making it, and he drains it. So Van Dyke will get to minus 14, and that's just what he's going to need to get back into this, is stringing some birdies together. He's got 2 in a row. So Ian Robards, 3 behind. You can use, so if it doesn't have a daunting listing, you can use 1 blue chip to take control of a hole. If it's semi-daunting, you have to take control. You have to have 2. You have to have 2 chips, 2 blue chips in order to try to take control of it. You have to use 1 for the chance. You then roll what is called the decider die, or it's a D2. It's basically 3 dots, 3 sides with dots, 3 without. If it's a dot, you have to spend a second blue chip. If it's not, then the 1 blue chip is enough. A daunting hole, you have to use 2. So the choice here for Robards, and without any water listing on the hole, I think we're going to let him play through as it is, and it's 15, so he's in the rough in 1. He has a green 3, which isn't, so his tee shot goes into the rough. It's not too bad of a roll, although in this case it asks if he's a workman. Now here you have a special case where you have a semi-quality, semi-workman. The decider die is then used to decide whether it's full workman or no workman, and it is full workman, so this will affect his chance, and he ends up with a difficult putt for par. The difficult putt for par is a 1 to 3. Needs to make this to remain 3 back, and he misses, so that leads to a moderate bogey. He's lining it up, 1 to 5, and he does make that. But Robards will drop further behind into that glut at minus 14. And now Eddie Sykes. So there's the white 6. He will earn another blue chip and take a par. So, all right, let's move on to 16 and Fonseca in Granbury. Westinghouse still out in front. He's got a 3-shot lead. Looking like he's going to pick up his 3rd victory here on the Tenacious Golf Tour. And unless I'm mistaken, it may be the 2nd. Actually, One moment, let me take a look. We might already have. So he would be the third. No, cross that off. The fourth multiple winner on tour this year. As you've got Yun Lee Song and one of my custom cards, Samson Peterson, has somehow won tour tournaments as well. So, but let's move along here and get this tournament finished up. Okay, so we have an extra element to this. So we've got a few extra elements that we haven't seen on a card yet in this tournament. 16 has some difficulty, adds difficulty for not only the squares but the circle as well. So daunting is the way that each of these squares gets tougher. The opposite is cordial. So this is a daunting hole and it's a challenging hole. So that means the green is challenging. And so that means that if you get a dot, you have a chance of having some difficulty there. The other thing is when you have this caution symbol that you can see there, it's a little triangle with an exclamation point in the middle. That means that anytime that the course gets control, which is these four, 2, 3, 4, and 5 on the white die, anytime it has control, the resulting putt, save for a clutch putt, has to go 1 degree of difficulty more difficult. So basically means the green is a little tougher than the normal green in this. It's just kind of like, it almost augments the challenging in a way. And the daunting and challenging, cordial, so challenging, the opposite is friendly. Each of those can also have the semi-quality. So here is Chico Fonseca, 201-yard par 3. And he is on back-to-back birdies. Doesn't have any blue chips to try. You would need 2, remember. So here we go. And there is water, 15, 16, 22, and 35. And it's 55, so he avoids that. He does end up golf cam course on this daunting hole. So now it's just up to how that 6 roll on the green die right here. If the 6 roll depends on, each green die roll 1 through 6 has different checks. This is going to ask, is it daunting or is he a hacker? So it is daunting. It leads to a double difficult putt for par. So if he wants to make this straight out, he needs to roll a 1 on the green die when I roll it. But then it would leave a difficult bogey. And so instead what we're going to do is I have a lag roll that I do. And so he gets to lag it up there. And it goes from double difficult to easy bogey. And it's just to try to limit the damage, and he does. So the easy bogey is a 6-6 miss, but he ends up bogeying the hole. And so that's, again, how the difficulty of these holes manifest. Here's Granbury. Now, if somebody gets a white 1, that's not going to happen here. 13 is decide or die blank. So, and also this 13 is a half water. If the decider die didn't have the dot showing, he would be in the pond, but instead he ends up in the rough with his tee shot. So the rough, par 3 tee shot, green 4. He's not workman, so he has a moderate par putt. But remember, doesn't have control, so we've got to take this even more difficult. So it goes from moderate to a difficult putt for par, 1 to 3. And he misses that. He would have missed the other one. So now a moderate bogey needs to avoid a 6, and he gets that again. So now an easy double, and he does make that. But that's going to be a 2 over par hole for Granbury, and he has dropped like a lead anchor, even though he didn't even get into the pond. Okay, so the leader will be taking flight here on hole 15, the par 5, looking to extend his lead. He has blue chips to use. If he somehow gets an eagle or birdie putt, he might use them just to try and build up a little bit more of a buffer. He's got a 4-shot lead right now with Fonseca bogeying. And it's going to be 4, 5, 6. I think that's not going to help him. Let's see. 4, 5, 6 is Golf Cam Green. And if you notice on the card for 15, there is no friendly. So let's see how the 6 comes up. The 6 says on the par 5, is it a friendly green? No. Is he a laser golfer? He is not. So he needs a clutch putt for par. Fortunately for Westinghouse, he is a gold. So 1 to 5 makes his clutch putt. Now the trouble is, if he rolls a 6, he earns a red chip, and he would then also bogey. It could be a double whammy for him here. And he does make it. He'll earn a blue chip, gets his par. And so he's got a bunch of stuff he can use on these holes coming in. Westinghouse looking great for his 3rd victory. Here is Heath Summers. Just looking to, if he could get up into that grouping at minus 14, he could earn himself a few more bucks, or if some of those other guys start plummeting. So now he gets the 3, 4, 5, which that roll has come up quite a bit for me in the tournament so far. And that is a gallery groans. He's going to lose a blue chip, or earn a red chip. Basically cancels out a blue. That means his tee shot was hit poorly, and everybody... Remember a time when we had galleries at the golf course at a tournament? No more, at least not for now. I think maybe they're going to start opening that up a little bit at a time in some of the states that aren't affected as much. But that being said, right now it's kind of tough. So gallery groans, tee shot par 5, and a green 5. Is he Workman? No, he's not. So he gets polite applause. This is going to lead to probably either a very difficult birdie putt. 2. So he does get a difficult birdie putt. That's a 1. He needs a 1 for that. And he's going to try to hole it out. He needs a 1. Nah, misses that. So now a moderate par. 1 to 5, and he does make that. Okay, now Solari. Part of the 14 chase pack there. 1, 2, 2. He does have control. It's only a 1 degree of course difficulty. So 1, 2, 2. Is he a duffer? No. Is he utility? No. Is he a hacker? No. He's none of those things, so he ends up with a moderate birdie putt. And Solari, he is going to take his chances on this. He needs a 1 or a 2 on the roll, and he misses. So that leads to an easy par. Well, he does get it. And we'll go back to 14 with the final group. And Martin Van Dyke is on a streak right now. Can he keep it going? He's got 2 holes in a row here where he could theoretically keep it going. So 3, 4, 6, par 4. He does have control of this. Bomber or dynamic? He is dynamic. He gets a blue chip. He, as I like on this roll, the way that it states it, because I could just really ham it up with the boys. He got all of that one. Just like Vern Lundquist or somebody. My, oh my. But now a green 6. Not such a great green die to have, because it asks if he's a hacker. He isn't. Ends up with a difficult birdie putt. So he'll take his 16% chance. He's got about 25 feet, and he just misses. So that leads to a moderate par. Avoid the 6, and he does. And his streak is over. Actually, yeah, right. Yeah, I did do that right. Okay, so it's a par 4. All right. Here is Sykes. He was really psyched about being in the final group. So it is a 2, 4, 5. Legend. He is a legend. He gets a blue chip. He has not only distance but accuracy. Now he has a green too. This is going to be very friendly for him, as it asks if he's a champion. He's semi-champion, but the decider die gives him the full quality. He has a gimme putt for birdie, and he would move to minus 15 if he doesn't get sixes, and he doesn't. So Eddie Sykes not out of this yet. He pulls to within 3. Westinghouse with the par on 15. That's the final easy hole. So he's going to have to make some pars on the way in. Here is Robards. It's not double cordial. So it's just cordial. So it's a 6. He's going to take a blue chip and earn a par. So a number of these guys have some chips to use on the way home on those tougher holes. So I kind of made it a point to have them save them up a little bit. Okay, so here we go with another green that has the exclamation mark. Now it's coupled with a semi-challenging, so you do get a little bit of help there. But 478 yards, very, very long hole. Again, daunting. Now, but it's only 3 degrees of course difficulty, so if you can get a 1 or a 2, it should dole it out a little bit. So here is Fonseca. Okay, 5 is a 46, and that's in the woods in 1 with a green 4. So into the trees, green 4. Is he workman? He's not, so he ends up with a moderate putt for par. But because of this, we have to make it difficult. 1 to 3. And he does make that one, so he will remain at minus 14. Now, Gil Granbury. Hey, RJL. Here is Granbury. And that's a white 6. He will get to discard the red chip as he gets the patient par. Okay, back to 16, and it's Westinghouse, the leader, who is definitely going to use 2 blue chips here to take control of this one. So he gets to put down the 1 automatically, and he gets to avoid the water that is lurking on this hole. 3, 4, 6, par 3. Okay, decent shot, but unfortunate bounce. He ends up needing to rely on a short game. Green 6. Is he stone? He isn't. He's going to end up with a difficult putt for par. He needs a 1 to 3, and he can't use a blue chip to make it easier since he used 2 to get control of the hole. Can he make the 1 to 3 difficult par? He does. So Westinghouse with a clutch par putt there. Not clutch in terms of the game, but clutch in terms of how he knocked her down. Okay. It's going to be Heath Summers now, and he does have chips. Let's see, is 18 water? Feel like you might as well use it here. You don't want to end up with a double bogey on this hole. So this will prevent the double bogey off of the water shot. So Summers takes control here. 1-1-4. Low roll. Let's see how it turns out. Is he cold? He isn't. He's got pars his last 3, so it leads to a moderate birdie putt. Needs a 1 or a 2, and it's a 1. He makes a birdie, so a good hole there for Heath Summers. Makes a birdie on 16, and minus 12. Not really in contention at this point, but just trying to snake his way up into a little more money, move up the tour rankings for money. Okay, now Solari, he'll use his 2 blue chips. And so here we go. 1, 2, 3. That's going to be golf, cam, green, and that's the potential risk that you do when you take controls. You could end up with that still. And the golf cam green with the challenging green is going to be the 3. Asked if it's he has a clutch putt for par. Asked if it's challenging. It is. Clutch putt. Fortunately for him, he's gold, but he misses it with a 6. A gold clutch putting rating is a 1 to 5. He misses it, so he ends up with an easy bogey. Now, he doesn't earn any red chip out of that because he had spent chips to take control, but he is going to drop to -13, one closer there to Summers. Summers licking his lips right now, hoping to feast on Solari's misfortune. Okay, final time through the easy hole, 15. And it'll be Eddie Sykes looking for another birdie here and to try and get back closer to the lead. Double cordial with a 6. That is a patient birdie. You don't get a blue chip for that, but you do get your bird, and he does get within 2, still with 3 holes left to play. Now it is going to be Martin Van Dyke next. And the course has control of this, and he's not a bomber, so this rough in 3 is active. There's a little asterisk there which could have helped him out, but instead it's rough in 3. And then a green 3 is he's not a workman, so he ends up with a gimme par putt. So he'll be unhappy with that. That's a hole you need to birdie. And so he goes 14, 15 at even par, which is less than optimal if you're looking to challenge Westinghouse at this point. 2, 4, 6 is Ian Robard's roll. Duffer, no. Utility, no. Champion, he isn't a champion either, so we go to right now. Right now he is semi-cold, so he's not hot. And so it asks, that's what it asks, if he's hot. So he's not, he has a double difficult putt for birdie. Robard's, he double difficult birdie. He's not going to take a run at it. He's just going to lag it. So that leads to the easy par. He doesn't want to chance his position. He's going to finish in the top 5 here most likely unless something disastrous happens. And with the blue chips he has, he should be able to avoid the worst of it. Okay, Fonseca and Granbury to 18. 484 yards, long par 4. Getting to the green's only half the challenge. In this iconic finishing hole, once there, as many as 20,000 fans watch as a devilish 2-tiered green often wreaks late round havoc. Four degrees of course control. And it's going to be Fonseca finishing it out here. Wants a white 1, can't get it. So 45 is bunker in 2. Green 5. He's not sandy, so that leads to a difficult par putt. Needs a 1 to 3 to finish with a par, and he misses. So now a 1 to 5 for bogey. He does get that, but that's going to be a disappointment for him, having 4 birdies in the middle of this round. He does end up with a 69, 3 under par, but minus 13. He's right on the edge of the top 5 there. It's a shame for him, but he could have been so much better off. Here is Granbury now, who he was looking like he was going to put it together early in the round, and then just this back 9 has eaten him alive. So 15, no water, just woods in 1. Green 3, workman, no. So it leads to the easy par putt to finish out. -7 beast of a, oh, he almost got the double sixes, but he does finish it out there with a par. 75 round, not good. He shot a 42 on the back. Okay, he summers now at 17. No chips to use, just has to hope for a 1 or a 2 or a 6. That will get him a blue chip to use later, and that's a par. John Westinghouse, the leader, minus 18. He's 2 ahead of Sykes. How many chips does he have? Is it 3? Whoops. It's 1, 2, 3. Make sure that, no, that was Summers, so he's got 3. He's going to save it on this one because he's got a chance. He's got a 1/3 chance of going off of his traits plus the other 1/6 chance at the 6 roll. And he gets the 1, so 1-1-4 on the par 4. Gilded? No. Cold? No, he's not cold either. He has a moderate birdie putt. And he's going to use the blue chip here to make it easy. If he can get a 1-4, he will move up to minus 19. And that would be a 3-shot lead with 1 to play. Would be almost impossible for him to lose this. Here we go. 1-4. It is in the hole. A birdie for Westinghouse. He looks like he is going to win his 3rd tournament here on the Tenacious Golf Tour. And minus 7 on his round, and he still has 18 to play. He'll be trying for a 64 if he could birdie that one. Here is Solari. It's just academic now for these guys. He does have control. 2-4. King or bomber. He is a king, so he gets a, wait, he didn't spend any blue chips here. He gets a chip. And the green 2, is he champion? No, he's not. So he ends up with a moderate birdie putt. So he's going to spend it and make it easy, and he still misses it. So that's a gimme par. And Solari hangs his head, slumps his shoulders, and moves on to the 18th. And I'm blocking out some of the cards there. Sorry about that. Okay. Now, Eddie Sykes, the only guy really with any credible chance. He's going to use 2 blue chips to take control of this par 3. He is laser, so that's a favorable thing to have on a par 3, but he's going to take control using the 2 blue chips. Let's see what comes out here. 1-2-4. It's not firm. It's golf cam green. There is your bad luck on that one. It is challenging. He has a double difficult putt for par, and this is he wants to hang on to second. He's gonna lag it. So that gives him the easy bogey. He just needs to hang on to second. He has a 1 shot. He's 1 shot up on Robards and Van Dyke for second, his playing partners now. Robards, because this is the one that has so much water in play, he's going to take control. 2-4-6. Champion or dynamic. He's neither of those. He would have had an easy birdie putt. Instead, it's going to go to Mood. Green 2. He's not sunny. So that leads to a difficult birdie putt. And he's going to try to make it. Needs a 1. And it's a 2. So he couldn't use that blue chip, by the way. So it's a moderate par. 1-5. He does make it. But I need to put him onto the stormy list. Robards. because he missed the mood putt. Now Van Dyke, he can't take control of any of the last holes unless he finds a way to a white 6 soon or earns a blue chip. So let's see. Decide or die blank goes in the water, but it doesn't. It's not blank, so instead we go to the rough. And we will have to add a degree of difficulty to this. Green 5, master. He is a master, so he ends up going. It's not an easy par. It'll be moderate. 1 to 5 does make it. Okay, so your leader, Westinghouse, is going to be playing 18 here. A birdie would cap off a very impressive final round here at Muirfield Village. He does have the 2 blue chips. He will use them both. No sense in putting that off. So he takes control of it. 4, 5, 6. That's going to go to Golf Cam Green, and so he gets bitten by this bug as well. So he's going to have to look and see what that says. Par 4, green 4. Friendly, no. Challenging, yes. He has a clutch putt for bogey. Now, he is gold. He can't earn a chip because he spent them, but it's a clutch putt. He is a 1 to 5 for a bogey, and he does make it. So that's an unfortunate finish, but still 3-shot lead. His closest competitor has 2 holes to play. They have to hole one out. It looks like John Westinghouse has done it. But we will go ahead and finish this out. Here's Summers on 18. That's going to be 26. Golf Cam Course. It's a daunting hole, remember, so this is going to lead. He needs a clutch putt for par. He's also gold. Does make it. We give him another blue chip even though his round is over. And so he finishes with a 70, 2 under par, minus 12, a 7th place. Unless somebody... Oh, it could be Solari. Solari is still not out of the woods yet. 33, Golf Cam Course, green 2, cordial, no daunting, yes, clutch putt for bogey. He's also gold, but he misses it. So now a red chip. So instead of easy, it's the last hole. You can't usually use a red chip on the same hole you earn it, but on 18, I play it that you can. And so a moderate double, and he does make that. Moderate's 1 to 5, but a double bogey, and there you go. Sommers moves up to 6th. Solari drops from 13 under to 11 under, and that's a tough one to swallow if you're Carlos Solari. Okay. So we've got Martin Van Dyke. Man, I'll tell you what, Eddie Sykes, if he hadn't bogeyed 16, he would be looking in pretty decent shape right now. Here's Van Dyke at 17. A couple holes left to play. 46 trees in 1. Green 4. This is all pretty much academic here. Not a workman. Yeah, it's going to be difficult. Second putt for par. He makes it. It'll be Robards next. Sykes is the only one that has enough chips to eat, and he'll save it for 18. Okay, he has control 3, 5, 6. Robards does. Scatter or Puny's neither of those. Champion, he does not have the champion, so it's Golf Cam Green, and it's going to be challenging green. Which, it's going to ask, though, is it friendly? It's not. Is he a laser golfer? He's not that either. It's clutch putt for par. He'll use his blue chip to make himself gold. And he still misses it, but he doesn't earn. He was going to have the red chip go against him anyway, so that's a bogey for Robards. He drops to minus 13. He's also in play to get... so Sommers could finish top 5 if Robards takes another header on 18. So here is Sykes. He has 2 blue chips. If he gets another one, it's not going to help him. So he's going to attack the green here on the par 4. That's another thing you can do with a white 6. So we will re-roll white die. It's a 1. That leaves him with a moderate birdie putt. And he's going to go ahead and try and make it 1 or 2. He misses that. Easy par. Makes that. And now to the 18th. Van Dyke will have the honor. John Westinghouse is your winner. To leave no doubt about that. So, yeah, that's 23 is sand in 2. Green 5, he's not sandy, so he ends up with a difficult par putt. He'll make it moderate with the blue chip, and he avoids the 6, so he will finish out his round with a 70, 2 under par. But actually he's going to finish in 3rd place. Sole 3rd. He could actually move up to 2nd if Sykes does not par this hole. Sykes is going to use the 2 chips he has to get control of it. 2, 5, 6. Wants to avoid a bogey to take sole 2nd. Legend. He is a legend. He'll go to the gallery. Cheers. Hacker, no. Difficult putt for birdie. He's going to lag it. So that's fine. That leaves him a gimme par. Has to avoid 3 6s. And he does. So that's a par for Sykes. He finishes in 2nd place. 3 back of Westinghouse. A nice payday for him, but Westinghouse is definitely your winner. Here is Robards. Let's see how he finishes out. Doesn't have any blue chips. He gets a white 6. He's going to take his par and say, I'm happy with a tie for 4th. And that is your tournament, folks, as John Westinghouse wins his 3rd Tenacious Golf Tour title at the Golden Bear Classic here at Muirfield. Not Muirfield, Muirfield Village, excuse me. Muirfield is a different course overseas. So let's go ahead and go to our final results. So there you go. John Westinghouse is your victor. Eddie Sykes. Let's see. So when we get guys like, so Leonard and Palmero Cavallari were in the B+. This is for people who like playing this game. A little bit of shop talk. I will almost always give a little bit of a... So on my sheet here, I have a place to add some difficulty based on how things are working out. So you see that gets him to tied for 6. I still don't quite like that. So I'm gonna make it 3, and let's see if we get them. I'd like to have them maybe at the... No, it's still tied for 7th. So basically, when you have a tougher course, you just have to institute a little bit more. So that's 8, 9. Yeah, I'm gonna give it 1 more degree. It's just, I'd like to have. I can live with that. So, I mean, it is costing them strokes as far as their average goes, but I think it also makes it I'd like to find a method or some kind of an algorithm to make that a little bit more scientific. But Westinghouse, $1,080,000 is the haul that he gets. Eddie Sykes with a cool $648,000 to add to his collection there. Van Dyke comes in third, and then tied for fourth, Robards and Fonseca. Sommer sixth, 216,000. We can just go down through here a little bit. Again, Leonard and Cavallari were the two guys in the B plus who kind of factor out through the calculations. They end up in 8th and 10th respectively. And some of these guys down here were involved in my early holes. So I've made some changes to my to the way I do things. So I'm going to go ahead and do it while I'm here live on the channel. So basically all the stuff to compile my money and statistics and stuff like that for the tournaments, I moved it to its own database this week. So I'm going to paste in the link. And I think I need to make this O probably, but let me see. What's going on? See, when things are when the computing power gets a little, so right here, so if I just cease the connection with the database, if I cease connection with Google, then Google will do all the calculations when I close it, and then when I come back, I can then do what I need. I just need to basically authorize this guy to access that database, and it should reflect over here. So exemptions, this is where I have to put in my guy here, John Westinghouse, 2019 Golden Bear Classic, and that's at Spirit of Scotland, and that's June 9th, 19. And I need to put in 19 here, so that way when we get over to the schedule and copy and paste in formula only, then I just do a couple of oops, I want that bold. I don't want it italicized. Actually, I don't even want it bold. There we go. So that's not his score. 270 minus 18. And this doesn't need to be italicized. There we go. And let's take a look at our money leaders. Westinghouse now with 2 wins. He moves up to 7th. Eddie Sykes gets into the top 20 with his 2nd place finish. Martin Van Dyke still, he has less than half of the money that Dustin Emmerich has earned with his 8 victories on tour. Where is Yun Lee Song? There he is. Have I not said that he has won 2 tournaments this year? Let's see. So somewhere along the way I've got some calculations wrong. That does happen from time to time. I think his earnings are right. It's just where the wins come from is out of whack. But I will get that fixed. Point leaders, again, Yun Lee Song, 4th behind Emmerich, McAdams, Van Dyke, Sykes 18th on points. So that's going to be it. I just wanted to also, I'd already shown you the schedule, a couple of quick updates. I am doing a couple of new wrinkle. Whoa, I don't want to go to that. Boo. Couple of new wrinkles to the tour here. Have some viewers currently just wanted I'm going to update because we received word that there is a new course pack coming out, which makes me quite happy because I was going to use Pebble Beach for the American Open coming up, but instead I am going to move it to Baltusrol. You know, we could this is the 2019 virtual, so COVID-19 hasn't arrived yet, but you know, you could just think of this as California, it's raging, but New Jersey, they've got it pretty well under control. So they're going to hold the American Open at Baltusrol, just in we'll call it the greater New York metropolitan area. Northern Jersey, the Baltusrol Farm Golf Club. Carson Rodell, who has really not shown up much in any of our coverage this year. He was the defending champion of the American Open. It will be our third major of the season. Emmerich won the first two, the Masterful and the Tenacious Pro Showcase, which is our PGA championship. But he will be looking for 3 out of 3 at Baltusrol. So the other thing I have done is I am adding 2 tournaments. So it was going to be 28, but I decided to add 2 more because the other thing I want to do when I get this new pack, I'm also going to do what's called I'm going to incorporate a couple of the play fictional sponsors as well. So we're going to go with Dobie's Michigan Mash at the Motown Crown Golf Club, which is Detroit Golf Club. They just had an event there 2 or 3 weeks ago on the PGA Tour. Brand new event. The other one I'm adding is from a different course pack, the Greater Toronto Open, which is going to be at Glen Abbey. Glen Ebb, we'll say. Glen Abbey is the name of the real tournament. And so that will go in just after the British Open, the Championship of the UK, which is kind of where that tournament usually finds itself in the real world. So finally, the last thing about the American Open and the Michigan Mash. I've talked with Keith at Play. I'm hoping to get these a little early so that we can take a look at these ahead of time and you can see what we got. So it's nice. We're going to have 2 tournaments in a row, and I'm going to try and play them before the actual release date if I can get them in time. So we'll do Baltusrol, which is going to be a tougher course. It's an open track. But then we're going to do the Detroit, the Michigan Mash. That's an easier course. It's kind of nice to have courses where guys can perform. You know, it's obviously guys like Emmerich, Van Dyke, they'll be in the American Open. I'm not sure. I haven't decided how I'm going to deal with the Michigan Mash and the Toronto Open. I think I will make a few changes to. I'm already sort of like modeling some changes to the ways that I deal with time off and things like that. So in any event, let's just go ahead and do this and take a look at, sorry for going for so long, but I'm going to take a look at El Chatterola. Not too much happening here on the chat, but thanks for everybody watching and supporting this tour. We've got a major coming up soon, and again, once I get those cards, we will be on the road, whether I am able to get them a little early or whether I catch it just after the release date, whatever works out. But I would like to be able to show you those cards and kind of like help build up in the excitement. It's fun for me when I get a new course pack coming out here, especially in this one. I'll tell you what, I kind of want to do the Open at Oak Hill, which is a course in a city that's near and dear to my heart, Rochester, New York. But Keith has already kind of like shown that one on his channel over at the Play Games channel, so I just kind of feel like it'd be better to show a course that isn't, hasn't been, just kind of like give a flavor for how it's going to be. Each of these newer courses has some little flares, some little potential nuts and bolts changes to the way things go out, which, certain golfer traits will influence the course control grid. Like you might have some asterisks which turn a water shot into a golf cam green or golf cam course, things like that. There's also some out of boundses or things like that. It's just, it's kind of nice to see the way that the cards for the holes have evolved over time. So we've got that. Obviously baseball is on the way. The Phillies lost yesterday. That kind of stinks. But an update to the thing that I was telling you about yesterday, the Toronto Blue Jays, sounds like their wandering is mostly over, as they have made an agreement with their farm team in Buffalo, and so they will be, for all intents and purposes, the Buffalo Blue Jays for a couple of months. I do think there's a chance that they could have a couple of, I'm assuming that there's some upgrades that have to happen to Salen's Stadium in order to make it majors worthy, for the facilities, things like lights, probably locker rooms, things like that. But kind of exciting for a Buffalo guy. I've dreamed for a long time Buffalo having a Major League Baseball team, and it's a kind of a small market for that. I still think it would work, but that's kind of the way it goes. So you wish in one hand, and you can wish in one hand, and I don't know. I can't finish it, but basically, all you can do is wish, because it doesn't mean it's going to change. So, anyway, we're going on 110 minutes here, so I'm going to go ahead and say goodbye. Have a good day, everybody. If you could hit like for this, I'd appreciate it. Not a new winner this week. It's John Westinghouse, but still, a great round from him. I was hoping he'd birdie 18, but he just had to kind of limp home. But he had the spread there in order to just take it easy, take his bogey and win, and that's what he did. So, till next time, I will keep rolling, and I hope you do too. And thanks everybody for your support of the channel here at Tabletop Baseball Plus. See you soon here on the channel.